you want to know on the Salisha Show. Starring you and your favorite pros on the Salisha Show. Staying true, going with the flow on the Salisha Show. So come on through, everybody glows on the Salisha Show.
Hello, what is up? It's me, Salisha, and I am excited. Y'all, we got some musical powerhouses on the line today. Today on the show, we are joined by these powerhouses that span decades, genres, stages, generations. One is a 3-time Grammy-nominated soul singer with a voice that shakes your soul, and he's done Broadway, West End. He was the original Stevie Wonder in Motown, the musical, right here in New York City. Mr. Ryan Shaw. The other is a virtuoso. Hey. The other is a virtuoso pianist, composer, and producer who just so happens to also be a member of the Roots on the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Y'all help me welcome Mr. Ray Angry. Together, they have created something extraordinary. I've been listening to it all morning, and it's good. It's going into the rotation, okay? Their new album is called Off Broadway. It isn't just a reimagining of Broadway classics. It's a genre-bending, soul-soaked, jazz-infused powerhouse experience that breathes new life into some of the greatest musical theater songs of all time. Think Broadway meets Motown meets House Party with a class of symphony, with a little bit of gospel, a little bit of church up in there, okay? Baby, it works. It's on fire. It's good, okay? I've been listening to it all morning. I'm official. Yes, I'm putting it. This is going on the playlist when I'm on the plane and I think I'm about to die, which is every time.
Wow.
I'm so excited to dive into this brilliance behind this collaboration, the heart behind the music, and what's next for this dynamic duo. Y'all, please put your hands together and help me welcome Mr. Ray Angry and Ryan Shaw. Welcome, both of y'all. What is up?
Hey, happy to be here. Happy to be alive.
Good morning.
Having us. This is great.
It's so great to talk to both of you guys. You guys have really created something beautiful. And is this your first collaboration, or you've done other things together?
This we've done other things together, but this is our first collaboration of this magnitude.
Okay, right on. How did y'all meet? Did y'all meet on the streets of Georgia? Did you run into each other on the sidewalk, or?
We met at this spot called the Village Underground years ago in New York City, which is like the hub for like the best singers in New York City. So I would go there, and Ryan would be just tearing the house down. Every time he came through, it was like, damn, that motherfucker can sing.
For real?
And then, yeah, he was crazy. And then he got nominated for Grammy. He won a Grammy. And then he's been shooting for the stars ever since. And so I've just been watching him grow since I met him. And to work with him, like maybe a year ago, we started just collaborating. I was working on a film with the same manager, and she was like, oh, you should get Ryan to work on a title song. And I was like, oh, yeah, hell yeah. And we wrote this song that's fucking beautiful. And so that's how it started. And then he had a show at 54 Below, and they asked me to be a part of the show. And it was just he and I, piano and voice. That was our first time working together. And really my first time really, I mean, I like Broadway, but I can't say that I was like, you know what I'm saying? The Broadway king, but
right.
But the cool thing about it is Ryan was so open to me, like, doing my own interpretation of Broadway songs. And so that's when I started, like, because I mean, when I work with the Roots, anybody, like Quest to be like, okay, do ray it up, So I basically rayed up these songs and just kind of just gave them a different a different
life, a different everything.
A different everything. Because,
Singing the Clowns is very not what I was expecting.
Yeah, and and to be honest with you, like a lot of the arrangements and a lot of the music is I get inspiration from an energy from people I'm working with. So hearing Ryan talk about, I want to go this direction, and I just would just come to me, and I would just kind of give into it. With regard to Sending the Clowns, this is a very good story. I said to I they wanted me to play solo piano, and I was like, well, if I do solo piano, Ryan has to sing on it. You know what I mean? So what if we do Sending the Clown? I don't know how I thought about this. What if we do Sending the Clowns, where I'll state the melody, and then you state the melody almost as an afterthought, which would change the meaning of the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now the other interesting thing about Sending the Clowns is it's a song about regret, loss, this and the third, and it was really like when we're dealing with all this political stuff, and
What are you talking about?
I'm not gonna. I'm just
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. So with regard to political politics and everything, the illusion of life and the illusion of everything appearing to be separate, or every force is trying to make everything separate. The song basically took on a new meaning. That being said, when I was creating it, I wanted it to feel like a cross between classical music and jazz, because I love bringing these worlds together. So with the idea of people being so focused on how everyone is different in that, so that certain groups can have a little a little bit more than the next group, and so I wanted to use this song as a way to say, actually, everything is really connected, because there's something in that for everybody. It's classical, it's jazz, it's black, it's white, it's yellow, it's green, it's all the colors of the color spectrum.
Wow.
So with Ryan singing, Sending the Clowns, because who does that? You sing a song, you want to hear the singer sing, and thank you, good night. But with him singing, he's singing away from the mic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which changes the whole dimension of the song. And the stuff that he's singing, I just knew in my mind that he was going to kill it. When I told him the idea, he was like, "Man, I don't hear myself on this song. I just don't hear it. It's beautiful, And then I started adding moves to the mini mode, which took it to a whole other stratosphere. And when I tell you, when I heard Ryan singing on Sending the Clowns, I was like, "Wow, that's exactly what he did. Exactly what I knew he would do, which is kill. Every time he doesn't miss. He's like Steph Curry. He don't miss."
And Ryan,
You know what I mean?
you were singing these songs on here, like a lot of these songs, like except for on Broadway, obviously, but like these are like some white songs. Okay, you got some Waitress. We got some Ben Platt waving through a window, and you said, "Wait, this is my version of this." It really is a bop.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I think for us the main goal was to make a Ryan Shaw record from the Broadway canon, because I originated, I was on Broadway, and then when I finished Motown, I went to London, did a Michael Jackson musical, and then came back into Jesus Christ Superstar in Chicago. So it's a part of me. So when we first did the show, Ryan Shaw from Broadway to Soul at 54 Below, and in a similar situation, Elizabeth, I used to have a staple of
Wish I could
musicians
have seen that.
but Ray and I had never really worked together like in a live setting. We had just saw each other in the underground. He'd be on the organ, and he probably played for me a couple times.
Come on, the organ.
Yeah, but underground was about the organ. And so Ray would come down, we would do our thing. But when we did the 54 Below show, I was talking to Elizabeth, and she was like, "Who should we use for the 54 Below show?" I was like, "Well, maybe let's try some fresh blood." And she was like, "Well, you never worked with Ray in that capacity." So we did the show. And at the show, the producer who just produced my last single, Rising Up, Scott Jacoby, I invited him to the show to see me perform live before we started working on my solo album, my original music album. And so he came, he saw me and Ray the very next day. He calls Elizabeth. He's like, "I couldn't wait to get home. There is something very special about these two and this connection, this show, this theme. I feel like there's an album here." And he was like, and I believe in it so much that I'm willing to put up the studio time. So we all split the cost. So me and Ray played for the musicians. Me and Ray went and did the arrangements and things. But the crazy thing about it is the way that Ray thinks is always out of the like he doesn't have a box. There isn't a box with Ray. And I don't have a box. And that was my biggest thing as an artist coming up is because, I would go in and as a songwriter, I would write for everybody. I've written country, I've written rock, I've written gospel, I've written jazz, you know, I've written folk. I've written a song that sounds like
Oh
opera.
my gosh.
In the earlier days when there were the gatekeepers, that worked against me because we don't know who he is. We don't know who he is. I'm like, I'm an artist. I am. But
Right.
in current moment, for me to be as free as I was, for us to take a Broadway song that was traditionally very string and very white song
Right.
and make it a complete bop, that's difficult to do with
Y'all, you succeeded. It's great. It's really great. And I think I know the answer to this, but which came first, like the chicken or the egg for you, Ryan? Like, were you a musician first, like a singer first, and then you just stumbled into this OBC Broadway moment? Or did that spawn something? Did the musician part of you come from the performance?
Well, I grew up Pentecostal in a Pentecostal church, so I was always just singing first, and the singing for me could never be about me. Like I remember one time I was singing in church, and I had did this one time, like whoa, and my arms was doing this, and I got home, and my mother was like, "That was self. They didn't have nothing to do with God, and we don't play those games." And so I learned to detach ego from my singing and only connect to spirit when I sing. And regardless of whether it was gospel, whatever, that is how I approach music. It's in the moment, what I'm feeling now, what is spirit saying now in this moment. And so it was never about an ego thing for me. And I feel it's the same way for Ray because he doesn't have a box and because Ray is always like he calls it the ether because he's always attached to the ether. There is infinite things there. And when we both just go into that space, then you get Ryan Shaw Rangry off Broadway because there are no boxes and we just figure out whatever ideas we pull down, we find a way in this plane to make them work. And
In this plane, you speak in my language. I can tell y'all both spiritual people. And musicians are a special like breed of people to me. You have to operate on a different plane. There's a lot of intuition. How both of you guys, at what age can you remember that you started listening to that intuition and getting out of your head and just into the vibe, into a different stratosphere?
That is a very tough question. I don't think there is an age where that doesn't happen.
right.
You mean like,
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Right.
No. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's always
Artists.
Yeah.
Listen, to be an artist is to be an artist is to understand joy on a personal level and to understand pain and fear on a deep level. All those things, because you're expressing these emotions, and anybody that tells you that, oh, it's all good, they're full of shit. Okay, how much money they got? And okay, how much fucking money you got, or how big was celebrity your ass? When you look in the mirror, you might say, damn, what is that? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's an illusion to think that, like some people might fake it like, oh, I'm killing this. No, let's be honest. As a human being, we have all these emotions. And to me, creativity comes out of that experience of getting your heart broken or buying your first home or better yet, getting rejected from an audition.
yeah,
And then having that feeling of, I remember one time I this is crazy. I remember one time I auditioned for Lady Gaga's band, right? And I tell you, I was so hurt. I wanted the gig, right? But then I felt like, oh, this shit is fucking rigged,
What? Oh,
You know what I
really?
mean? I'm going somewhere else.
So no, go. We there. We're on the train.
I felt like it was rigged, right? And I was like, man, because she even was like, "Yo, see, he listens." I heard what she said about me. She was like, "See, he listens," and I didn't get the gig. And the other thing,
you did get the gig?
I did not.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
I did not get the gig. But fast forward years later, who's playing with Lady Gaga on SNL 50th?
Oh my gosh. Full circle.
You know what I mean? But my thing is sometimes those no turn into not right now, but maybe later.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
You know what I mean? So for us, like creating this record, I'm saying that to say just creating this record was so in the moment and so right because, you know, I've known Ryan for years. I never imagined I'd be in the studio working with him on a record. And so when we got into the studio and we started working, and I didn't know what the arrangements were going to be. We just knew we had to do them. And the way that one thing I knew, I was like, well, we're going to record all the music in one day, is what I said.
What?
I said, we're going to record the music and all.
Oh, I heard you. What?
Yeah, yeah, right. And Scott and Ryan was like, no, it's not possible. We need more time. But the way that God and the ether works out, everything worked out perfectly because Ryan and I had a day to go through the arrangements. We went through the arrangements and it was like, oh, we could do it like this. Oh, cool. And it worked out perfectly. And my point is saying sometimes, you know, you have to go through, you know, the maze of life and go through all this turmoil to find the diamond in the box that you're sitting on.
That's the alchemist. You going, you searching the planet and the treasures in your backyard. It's under the tree. You right there.
And Ryan lives right here in Harlem. I moved to Harlem 2 years ago. Ryan lives right here in Harlem. And the stars just aligned perfectly so we could do this record. And everyone that's playing on the record, we have Jalen on drums, we have Sherrod Barnes on guitar, and we have Papa Bear on bass. You know, everyone, the connection between all the musicians on this record is so deep that we were able to go into the studio and I could say to Jalen, man, you know that Michael Jackson record, man, where, you know, Rock With You, where the drummer has this crazy intro? We need that for My Way.
Oh my gosh.
We need our Michael Jackson moment. And every musician just brought so much magic to the table, but it all stems from Ryan's ability to just be otherworldly with his singing, because you can do literally anything with Ryan. There's nothing, you know what I mean?
I feel that your voice, Ryan, is like literally I'm like laying next to my husband in bed and I'm like, wait a minute, let's go.
Killed the record. He killed, so working with incredible musicians, but then working with an artist who is also a musician, producer, and writer just makes for a magical experience. And for me, this off-Broadway album is really special. I just hope that people listens to it and
well, I think even before this, like, I didn't know you weren't in my sphere. Now you're on the radar. I'm like, oh, I never want you off the radar. So it just like, seriously, I'm like, okay, now that once they just hear about you, that's it. It's a wrap. And I'd love to ask you both, because you both have had incredible careers. You've met a lot of people. You've worked with you've done a lot of things. What has been, okay, you can answer either of these questions. Either the biggest pinching moment, because I feel like, do you even get starstruck anymore? But maybe you do. What's been either the biggest pinching moment, or what was the moment where you were like, Mama, did I make it? I made it. What is that for either of you?
I want to go back because I didn't get to answer the first one.
Go for it.
When we were talking about always, like when you asked, like, when did we have that? At what age did we know about this connection when it happened?
Yes.
Like Ray was saying, I feel like it's always been always, because my first memory of singing was when I was age 5. And this is what happened. And my choir director told me this later. So we were in what we call the Sunbeam choir. And we were singing a song, and we're 4 or 5 years old, so we just barely talking, and so we're all just singing, and she's teaching the song, and we're learning the song, we're singing, and suddenly she stops everybody, and she's like, "Who's singing this note?" And it was me because I started singing harmony because it was all just a unison. And she said, "Who taught you that?" And I was like, "Nobody. It was missing." And she said, "Come here." And she gave me the solo. And that was my first solo at 5. It was a song called "I've Been Redeemed." And it was, "God gave me a song that the angels cannot sing. I've been washed in the blood." And then they started singing. And then the little goons came in unison, but I was singing the harmony. She's like, "And you was the only one that was singing harmony out of nowhere, perfect harmony to everything that everyone was singing."
At 5, Ryan. 5 at 5 years old.
At 5 years old. Yeah. And the pinch me moment, I've had many. I could say it was opening, being in Madison Square Garden opening for Van Halen.
Oh my God, what?
Or but I think the real pinch me moment, which was serendipitous for my whole life. So from a child, I used to have this dream/vision because sometimes I don't think I would sleep, but a couple of times a year I would have this vision. I grew up Pentecostal, and I would see myself on the stage, and I couldn't see the end of the people. And they were like a range of emotions. There would be like lights. This was before cell phones, but there were people like candles or whatever, like lights. Some people would be over here to the left. They'd be dancing. Some people in the back would be, partnering or all kinds of range of emotions. People just partying, having a good time. And I'm on stage. I could never hear what I was singing because I grew up Pentecostal. And I guess God was like, "I have other plans for you. So I can't let you know what that is because you will reject it based on your upbringing."
Oh.
So I just always have it. And then I remember later on, I'm like, "Okay, God, what's happening?" Because now I'm getting older. Why would you keep showing me this vision? Why would I keep having this over and over and over and seeing this multiple times a year? And like, what's happening? And so I remember the first year I played the Montreal Jazz Fest, I was in the big tent and it went very well. And they very rarely do festivals have the same artist back 2 years in a row. But the big tent was so rocking. They was like, "We got to have him back next year." So they brought me back the next year. What I didn't know is that the next year they brought me back, I was headlining the main stage.
Oh my God.
So we're late driving in from Canada. We're driving, coming from the US, driving into Canada. We're late getting there because so much traffic. So we don't have time to have a sound check. So it's just a line check. So they say, "Okay, we have to go." So they send my band out and it's like 10 o'clock at night, 9:30 at night. They send the band out to like line check and everything. And then they push me out behind this curtain. They say my name, push me out. As they say my name, there is a roar of people that is so loud. I'm like,
"You're kidding me."
I walk out in the square in Montreal, and the stage is like at the corner of the road, so you can see all the way down this street. You can see all the way down this street, and then there's like 45,000 people in the square, and you can't see the ends of the people.
Oh my God.
I turn around to my band, and I take a deep breath, and I go, "Oh, it's happening. We have a killer set." And then when I get back to the hotel, Spirit brought that dream. God brought that dream right back.
Oh my God, I'm sweating in my armpits.
Of everything. I couldn't see the end of the people.
Oh
People
my
dancing.
God.
At that point, it was cell phones then. I could see the waving of the people brought this up.
You're like, they weren't candles.
They weren't candles. It wasn't gospel necessarily, but that was the dream. And I just broke down crying in the shower in Montreal at the hotel.
You didn't know you were headlining, Ryan? They didn't tell you? You just showed up, you're like, "We don't get a sound check"?
No, the first year that I signed to Columbia, I did 260 dates the first year.
Wow.
260 dates.
365 days in a year. I did.
Right. I'm like, wait a minute.
And that's performances and that does not include all the radio and television performances. That's just like booked performances.
Oh,
so no, I didn't know I was headlining. I was just each day I was thrown out on the stage.
Wow. Okay, Ray. How about you? I know you got some in the cannon.
Man, to be honest with you, there's so many special moments throughout my career that I would say would lend itself to that as a perfect answer. But I will, in answering that, I will say the first, how can I say this? I was working with Esperanza Spalding. I met her at Smalls, and people were introducing me to her, and they were like, "Oh, you got to meet Ray, whatever." And so we met, and first thing she says to me is, "Oh, you got to meet Prince." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to work with
Prince."
Prince, yeah. So So she's working on her album, and she invites me to come in and be a part of her session. So I'm working with her in the studio, and then she's like, yeah, Prince wants to help produce the record. So, you know, this happened over the course of 3 years. So the first year he was supposed to come through, it didn't happen. The second year, he was supposed to we're going to Paisley Park to work with Prince on the album. So I'm talking with his engineer. He's telling me about, you know, all this gear they have in the warehouse, and I'm like, okay, I want to use that keyboard he used on this album. I'm like getting my list together, and so everything is great. The day before the session, and then 4 hours before I'm supposed to go to the airport, Prince calls, and the OS team calls and say, "Hey, the gig is canceled. Prince is not going to make it." So I was so disappointed. And I was like, "Man, whatever." And so then the next year, Prince is doing this 28 days at the Forum in LA, and so Esperanza says to me like, "Hey, so third time's a charm. So we're going to go to LA and do one of his shows." And so I was like, okay, cool. So we go to LA. We're performing with Prince. We're opening up, right? And then he jumps on the stage with us and performs with us. And it was like a vibe.
Wait. You're opening for him, but then he jumps on stage with y'all?
Yes.
He's like, I want in on this.
Yeah. And then now, if you can imagine me, a kid from Albany, Georgia, grew up in Miami, Florida, you know, dreaming of playing on the world stage. My first movie was Purple Rain. My parents were so strict I couldn't watch any secular movies or anything like that. So I went to a friend's house and saw Purple Rain. So now I'm on stage with Prince in LA at the Forum in LA. That's so and he's performing with us. I'm backstage. Prince is to my left, and the guitar legend to my right. You know what I mean? And I'm like in between them, and Prince is chilling, and I'm like, what is your life? Right. Then after the show, Prince tells Esperanza, "Hey, tell the band come to the house. You know, I want to like vibe out with everyone. I want to jam with everyone." So I get Prince's address on my phone. I'm just like, what is going on? So so I was playing with Jeff Lee Johnson. Jeff Lee Johnson passed away, but he was an incredible guitar player, and Prince loved this guy. But Jeff was weirded out that Prince was kind of like, you know, trying to be next to him. He was so weird. So I'm talking to Jeff like, yo, man, he respects you, bro, you know? So I go to Prince's house. Everyone's playing. Prince is playing the keyboard. Sheila E. is on the drums.
Sheila E.?
Yes. Shelby Fisher singing. Roy Hargrove is there. God bless the dead. He was there. There's twins. The dancers were there. Everybody was there. And so I get to the house late because I'm excited. I can't believe I have Prince's address. His assistant comes to the gate in Beverly Hills to let me into the house. I walk into the house. I see a big purple piano, which looks like a spaceship. I'm like, wow. She takes
of course it's
elevator
purple.
To go downstairs to where the party is.
Elevator.
And I come out of the elevator, and this is like a movie. He sees me, and he's, yo, you. And I'm looking back, I'm like, wait.
Who, me?
Me?
He's like, hurry, I need you to start playing
He's
so
like,
I can sing.
So, no, he's playing the keyboard. He sits me down on the seat that he was sitting on. I'm playing the bottom keyboard. He's playing the top keyboard. The keyboards are like this. And so he's like literally on top of me playing the keyboard. So we're both playing at the same time. And all he was doing was I was playing something. He's like, woo, yeah. This is Prince. Cannot make this up. We had such a great time. And, you know, everyone left. So basically by the end, it was just me on keyboards, Prince on drums, and his bass player on the bass, and Shelby Fisher. It was the four of us. And we were playing as if we were at Madison Square Garden.
Just in his basement.
We were playing like we were at the Garden,
Basement.
and I said, man, I got to go. I have a flight in the morning. He had to go, and so I left his crib. And then the crazy part is, I was trying to figure out how to get out of the house. So I didn't know what floor I was on. There's no main floor, and so I'm in the elevator and I'm trying to leave, and the elevator doors open, and Prince. This is like a movie. What is my life? Prince comes in the elevator. And I'm like looking up. I'm like, yeah, I'm not saying nothing. And we had a conversation. And Prince says to me, he's like, man, how long you been working for SB? I was like, yeah, a couple of years. Yeah, that's cool, man. And he was like, hey, man, if you ever in LA, stop by the house anytime.
You said, let me get rid of my Airbnb.
I hate that. I never did that. And I know exactly what a house is. I never did that, and that's one regret that I have. But anyway, that was a very interesting experience because number one, I started something called Producer Mondays, and it's really inspired by the legacy that Prince created. Like he had
so cool.
all these bands and all these different types of experiences as an artist, and as a producer, that really inspiring. So to have that memory made me feel like, wow, this is crazy. From the beginning, before I was even playing piano, I saw Purple Rain.
Wow.
And then I'm in Paisley Park.
So you started, it's called Legacy Mondays?
Producer Mondays.
It is called Producer Mondays. And this is happening.
Creating a legacy.
Okay, and you're creating a legacy. It's happening every Monday here in New York City. That's where people can listen to you live every week.
Yeah, it's my band. Yeah.
Can we look it up? Is it easy to find the address?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram at Ray Angry, and it's also at Producer Mondays.
What was that Instagram again?
At Ray Angry and at Producer Mondays.
Ray, are y'all listening on the podcast? His Instagram is at Ray Angry. Okay.
Yes.
And he's not saying much, but I've been to a Producer Monday, and just so you're aware, it is one of the most creative environments that you can experience in live music because it's not a prepared show. It is literally what he said Prince did in his house. They get up, they vibe. And I have been there. I have written like 8 songs on the spot.
No, on the spot?
He'll start a groove and he'll be like, you feeling this? I'll be like, oh, I like that. And whatever singer is feeling that, they'll jump on. And then if I feel it, I'll jump off for the next singer. We'll come with choruses and stuff will repeat. And then next thing you know, Ray will have an epiphany and he'll move off to another groove. And it is a out of body type of experience for live music. And it's nothing like, I've never seen anything like it before because I wasn't at Prince's house. And
yeah, but that's how all music is created. Music is created from the ether. It starts from zero and then it expands like you put watering a seed. You know what I'm saying? And that's how great records are made. Earth, Wind, and Fire. A lot of those records are them going to the studio vibing. Because when people say jam, to me that word doesn't necessarily fit when it comes to creating something with intention. Because if you're jamming, if you jam anything, it's not going to work.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like if you like, jam this in, it doesn't create like a positive outcome.
Right. Okay. All right.
So but being intentional about your creation, which to me is something that we call composition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're composing, you're creating. But all these ideas are not genre specific. All music comes from the ether, from zero. People are getting ideas. They may have a they may have a motif. Da 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 da. Okay, they might hear this is cool. Oh, let me go. You know what I mean? Like, this is right. Okay, cool. And maybe we can go back. And then you go somewhere else. But it's about theme and just taking things and developing them. You know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Producer Mondays every Monday. Ryan, can people see you live anywhere? Like, can we find you?
Yeah, if you go to my website, ryanshaw.com, and follow me on all socials, this is Ryan Shaw on all platforms.
Love.
Facebook, Instagram are my main two, but this is Ryan Shaw, and all my dates are listed on my website, ryanshaw.com, because I'm everywhere. I'm doing like symphony days, there's private gigs, there's solo symphony shows, there are, hopefully, not hopefully, very soon it's going to be Ryan Shaw and Ray Angry off Broadway in multiple cities
I would
across.
love to catch that. I would love to catch the both of you guys.
Our album release show we did at 54 Below, that experience was so next level that we was like, oh, we got to take this on the road. It was crazy. And
That
because
was earlier in May.
it was May 6th.
It
Yeah.
was like last week.
It was.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, you guys! I didn't know your PR team didn't tell me.
Don't worry. We got you. We go coming
Got
back.
you. It's coming back.
We're coming back.
But yeah, that experience was crazy because it feels really good for this collaboration because, a lot of times when I do my headliner shows, it's just me and I'm just like squalling for, 90 minutes. But in this, the trade-off and the way that we arrange these songs, Ray, and a lot of these songs, Ray just has solos on the record. This record is so musical. That's what I love about it. Because like when the song is finished, they end the song. Like Ray just goes the fuck off and the song is just his now. So I'll do my 3 minutes. He'll come off with the last 2.5 minutes. And it's maybe I'll come back in. And so when we did it live, like even the songs that didn't really have a super stretch, I was just like, oh my God, Ray be playing something like, I'm just gonna sit down and go, Ray. And then the audience is like, oh, what is happening? And then
Yeah. It's a
my
vibe.
gosh.
It's a vibe.
It really
it's beyond.
It
Yeah.
really is a vibe. You guys, I'm so honored. I'm so honored that I got to talk to both of you. Your album Off Broadway is so spectacular. And I love how you weave in On Broadway the song throughout. I was in Beautiful, the Carole King musical. That was my Broadway debut. Even though I was like, no, I can't sing. But I've done a couple Broadway shows and that song has a special place in my heart. This album is incredible. The both of you guys are incredible, and I cannot wait to catch you live. Now, when I see y'all live, y'all better say hello to a sister. I'm gonna be pregnant, so you might not. You'll be like, "Who is that?"
We got you. We're gonna sit you front row. We got your seat, front row.
God bless both of you guys. Thank you so much. And for those of you who are listening, this is Ray Angry, Ryan Shaw. Download their album on Apple, on Spotify, wherever you listen to music. It's called Off Broadway. It is so killer. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Salisha, a very pregnant Salisha. I just wanted to say thank you for watching this episode. It's taken me a long time to not just make the things in my head, but then to also share them. And one step further, to like tell people that I've posted it somewhere in the world. So thank you so much. I don't know if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, or if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or in my stories somewhere where it's gonna disappear in 2 seconds. But just, first of all, thank you. Number two, it would mean the world to me if you hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts, or if you're watching this on Spotify Podcasts, or if you're watching this, go to my YouTube and subscribe to the channel so that you can always have the updates. Episodes are dropping every Friday, so thank you so much for going on this journey with me. Building an empire from the ground up, building a castle out of sand. What is it called? It's like building a plane in midair! I'm building a plane in midair. So, thank you.